Doctor Strange? What did we just kill? Dormammu, who are you? Why have you trespassed into my dimension? Well, I'm the Sorcerer Supreme. That's pretty impressive. But here's the thing. You're dead. We killed you a lot of times, am I? No. Look around you. You're dead. So why am I still standing? Because I'm going to send you back to your dimension, and I want you to know what you've either done. Oh, what's this? You want to hurt me? Go ahead, kill me. I can take it. Kill me, kill me. Come on, are you going to keep doing this forever? Because I have things to do? Things I could be doing right now. I'd rather be doing those things. And if you could just get out of here, that would be great. Wait. Don't go yet. Can I ask you something? Yeah. Do you want to kill me? I don't want to kill you. Why would you kill someone you can't kill? I didn't think you were a fan of questions, Dormammu. Listen, look, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Okay? Ready? Me and the Ancient One? They're one and the same. I've been hiding from you this whole time. In the hidden and mysterious Himalayas, the zealot Caecilius murders the head librarian of Cumberbatch and steals a page from an ancient book belonging to the immortal sorcerer. It's the Ancient One, fleeing with his treasure. He activates the power within and disappears with his followers through a portal. Realizing what he has done, the Ancient One pursues the traitors and traps Caecilius in a mirror dimension. However, Caecilius escapes with the pages and some of his followers by opening up a portal out of the mirror dimension. On a rainy night in New York City, acclaimed neurosurgeon Dr. Stephen Strange loses the use of his hands in a car accident. Despite his arrogance in his profession, the world's leading experts believe that he will never regain the use of his hands. Despondent and physically weak, Strange spends his time alone in his apartment, unable to perform surgery or do anything else because of his condition. It's a dark time for Strange, especially since he's so proud of his surgical skills and his dexterity, which he had gained after several years of studies and practice. Strange considers himself to be a student of science and had extremely steady hands, which allowed him to conduct the most difficult cranial surgeries with the utmost precision. After the accident, his operation lasted for 11 hours and required 11 surgical pins to be inserted into his bones. There was massive tissue damage. His fellow surgeon and former lover Christine Palmer tried to help him move on, but Strange, firmly believing he could regain use of his hands, instead uses all his resources pursuing experimental surgeries. Strange submits himself to experimental procedures to help speed up the recovery process, but he cannot gain back any meaningful strength in his hands. World's leading experts give up on Strange. Strange visits a doctor whom he operated on years ago. The doctor tells Strange that there was one case in his career who was paralyzed from the waist down, and after a few years, he saw the man walking by him on the street. Strange asks for the medical file on the person and learns of Jonathan Pangborn, a paraplegic who mysteriously was able to walk again. Strange seeks him out, and Pangborn tells him how he came back from a place from where he was not supposed to come back from. Pangborn says that he even came to visit Strange, and Strange refused to see him because the best doctors do not take on hopeless cases to protect their reputation. Strange begs and is directed to Cumberbatch. Jonathan tells Strange that he had given up on his body, but in the presence of his guru, he trained his own mind and thereby healed his body. In Kathmandu, Strange looks for Cumberbatch for many weeks and is nearly killed when he tries to enter the sanctum until another sorcerer under the Ancient One. Mordo intervenes, they fight, and Mordo convinces the Ancient One that Cumberbatch might need a person like Strange if Caecilius manages to decode the stolen pages and summon the dark forces. Strange begins his tutelage under the Ancient One and Mordo, and learns from the ancient books in the library, now presided over by the Master Wong. He learns to harness energy from the infinite multiverses to power spells that create shields and weapons. Strange learns that Earth is protected from other dimensions by a spell formed from 3 buildings called sanctums. It's found in New York City, London, and Hong Kong. The task of the sorcerers is to protect the sanctums. Though Pangborn chose to forego this responsibility in favor of channeling mystical energy into walking again, Wong tells Strange about Dormammu, the supreme being of the dark dimension, who invades universes and brings them into his dark dimension. Dormammu is a being of infinite power and endless hunger. He hungers for Earth most of all. The ritual that Caecilius stole was to contact Dormammu and to summon him from the dark dimension. Over the next several months, Strange advances quickly. learning to bend time with the mystical eye of Agamotto and more. Despite this progress, Strange is arrogant and dismissive of the Ancient One. She compares him to a glass that is already full, and hence cannot learn anymore. The Ancient One shows Strange her power, revealing the astral plane and other dimensions such as the mirror dimension. She says that the universe is only one of an infinite number, and at the root of reality, mind and matter meet. Some universes are benign and give life, while others are full of hunger and contain evil forces which are older than time itself. Amazed, Strange begs her to teach him, and she eventually agrees despite his arrogance, which reminds her of Caecilius. Caecilius and his followers, meanwhile, have begun summoning Dormammu using the stolen pages. The ritual destroys the London Sanctum and sends Strange from Cumberbatch to the New York Sanctum. The Zealots then attack there, where Strange holds them off with the mystical cloak of levitation until Mordo and the Ancient One arrive. Together they defeat the Zealots, but Strange is disheartened when Caecilius escapes. He wants to pursue him, but the Ancient One says that there is nothing they can do about it. She knows the true cost of fighting Dormammu and refuses to allow Strange to attempt it. Strange is frustrated and disbelieving, saying that he has nothing to lose. But the Ancient One warns him that his arrogance will lead to his destruction. Still, she agrees to teach him, telling him to return to the Sanctum when he's ready. Caecilius finds the Hong Kong Sanctum and kills the Master Wong. He then opens a portal to the Dark Dimension and allows the Dark Dimension to begin consuming Earth. Strange and Mordo arrive to find Wong dead and the Sanctum destroyed. With the Dark Dimension already engulfing Earth, Strange and Mordo are forced to retreat. The Ancient One tells Strange that he, too, will have to break the rules to balance Mordo's steadfast nature. She then gives him the Eye of Agamotto, which she kept in her possession, warning him that it's a dangerous weapon and he must never show it to anyone. The Ancient One is mortally wounded by Caecilius and dies despite Strange's and a bewildered Palmer's best efforts. Enraged, Strange vows revenge against Caecilius. At the same time, Mordo discovers that the Ancient One never intended to tell Strange the truth about her use of the Dark Dimension and its influence over her immortality. Disgusted by Strange's and the Ancient One's disregard for the consequences of defying nature, Mordo departs. Strange arrives in Hong Kong to find the Dark Dimension's influence spreading. He and Palmer are nearly consumed, but Strange opens a portal to the Mirror Dimension to escape. Inside, he finds Caecilius leading his followers in worship of Dormammu. Strange defeats the Zealots, but Caecilius remains calm, saying that Strange needs his power. Strange fights Caecilius, who says that death is the ultimate freedom, and that Strange will join them soon. Strange is horrified to discover that his attempts to destroy Caecilius are actually strengthening him, because the more he fights, the more energy he gives to Caecilius. Strange realizes that Caecilius has used the Eye of Agamotto to siphon the energy from the Mirror Dimension to enhance himself. Strange knocks Caecilius out and uses the Eye to trap him in the Mirror Dimension. Then Strange destroys the Eye, collapsing the portal and freeing the Mirror Dimension from the Dark Dimension's influence. Exhausted, Strange returns to the Ancient One's sanctum. In a mid-credits scene, Strange decides to help Thor, who has brought his brother Loki to Earth to search for their father Odin. In a post-credits scene, Mordo confronts Pangborn and takes the energy he uses to walk, stating that Earth has too many sorcerers. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.